and welcome to this edition of Newsroom series covering Nigeria's Northeast. I am Bukola Koka. First, we'll bring you the top story. Nigeria has been formally admitted as a partner country in the multinational bloc known as BRICS. The announcement was made by Brazil, which currently holds the BRICS presidency for 2025, after taking over from Russia on January the 1st. Nigeria joins Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan as the 9th BRICS partner country, a category established at the 16th BRICS summit in Kazan in October 2024. Originally comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the alliance began to expand after more countries began seeking to join the group of leading emerging economies. The group believes that Nigeria, being one of the continent's major economies, shares convergent interests with other members of BRICS. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, Taraba State University chapter, has suspended its over 1 month indefinite strike action. The strike was suspended following a Congress meeting held by union members in agreement with the state government to settle, among other things, its backlog of salary arrears, inclusion of the academic staff into the implementation of the new national minimum wage, earned academic allowances, and the provision of a pension scheme. The union had embarked on the indefinite strike action on the 5th of December 2024, owing to the failure of the university management and government to address institutional issues of welfare, despite granting a 30-day relief period that expired on July the 4th, 2024, as requested by the state government. Local government chairmen in Taraba State have begun the presentation of the 2025 appropriation bill before their respective council legislators. The presentation follows gradual implementation of the local government autonomy by Governor Abu Kefas, in line with the Supreme Court verdict of granting financial autonomy to the 774 local government areas across the country.
For the first time in many decades, local government chairmen in Taraba State are presenting their respective budget estimates before legislators to determine financial spendings, flows, and allocations in a fiscal year. This development follows the gradual implementation of the local government financial autonomy granted by the Supreme Court in 2024 and adherence by the Taraba State Governor, Abu Kefas. From Jalingo local government to Lao, Karim, and across the 16 local government areas of the state, chairmen had the opportunity to state their plans with varying budget estimates for various sectors of the economy.
In the months ahead, Mr. Leader, we will focus on key areas including education, health, agriculture, youth empowerment, infrastructural development, while fostering partnership and collaboration that will attract investment and create jobs for our youths and women. This budget has been meticulously crafted to reflect on our collective aspirations and priorities as a people. The total budget estimate for the year is 4,836,821,416 naira 95 kobo only.
My administration is committed to supporting agriculture and economic empowerment initiative. We will prioritize youth empowerment by equipping our young men and women with relevant modern skills as outlined in the 2025 budget.
One of the local government areas which was the worst hit by crisis in 2024 is seeking peaceful coexistence to ensure optimum performance of the 2025 budget estimates in the council.
I'm calling on all stakeholders and all the helmets, the village heads, the district heads, the paramount chiefs in the local governments, to make sure that peace prevails in their domain. And they should not harbor, or they should not condone, or they should not keep any criminal alone or within their jurisdiction. They should help the government to make sure that peace prevails across the local government. Our expectations in the income, federal statutory allocation, we are expecting by the grace of God to have 7,882,898,152.39 kobo. Value added tax, we are expecting 1.6 billion, 1.69 billion, 796, 947.10 kobo.
Chairman of Taraba Advisory Committee on Local Government Autonomy says the local government autonomy will block all leakages, ensure transparency and accountability in all spheres of responsibilities.
So it is not going to be business as usual. I'm sure after this report, you are going to see a lot of reforms. No, look, the local government system is not going to be walk in and walk out. There are people today that they're working with Taraba state government and they still receive salary with the local government. It's not going to happen again. So we will prefer a situation where the local government will come with its own empowerment mechanism, empower its own people without necessarily bringing them into the payroll of the local government and they come do nothing.
The state government is optimistic of becoming a model for others to follow in implementing the local government autonomy to ensure that development gets to the grassroots.
And more on administration. Following the Senate's disclosure that the discussion on the tax reform bill is nearing completion, the Coalition of Northern Groups Students' Wing has asked the legislature to immediately suspend its processes. The national coordinator of the coalition, Jamilu Chiranki, who disclosed this at a one-day town hall meeting with student leaders, civil society organizations and critical stakeholders in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, is seeking wider consultations on the tax reform bills.
The federal government's tax reform bill has received a mixed bag of reactions from Nigerians, with various groups speaking for and against it when juxtaposed against its advantages and disadvantages, with some arguing that it's a deliberate policy to further inflict hardship on Nigerians. Young Nigerians under the aegis of the Students' Wing Coalition of Northern Groups gather at the Federal Polytechnic, Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, to digest the contents of the bill before its passage by the National Assembly. They belong to the school of thought that it will cause more harm than good.
For me, we are standing no to tax reform bill. That is what we are standing today. Because the tax reform bill, even the building we had today, if you can see the wall, you will see there is tax reform that refers to the wall in 2020. If you check all the whole wall in this school, the building in this school is in, you will see by maybe 2013, 2014, that is work of tax reform. And they scrap this tax reform now, we don't know what education will be in the northern Nigeria.
Actually, we are clearly not supporting, because we are already preparing a campaign for women for education, because it's more like in the north there is this idea they usually have: women are not entitled to study. Like, we are trying to make a rally, but with this tax reform bills of a thing, I guess they are trying to bring us down. We are not going to be educated, and I guess women are the key points of everything in the world, in Nigeria, of course, or I'll say in the world completely.
National coordinator of the coalition, Jamilu Chiranki, raises similar concerns, describing the bill as a burden on citizens.
As you can see, the theme of the program is it reform for a catalyst for economic development, or for economic growth, or a burden onto the society? The answer, you have seen it already unanimously, the whole agree that it's a burden on our people. The economic tax reform bill has so many areas that need to be x-rayed. There are so many areas, there are so many ambiguities that need to be clearly defined in that term bill. For instance, we have cited an example of the derivation formula, that is section 77. The derivation should be at either, if you are talking about the derivation, at what point are you talking about derivation? Is it at the point of the headquarters of the companies as present situation is, or are you talking about at the consumption level? If you are talking at the consumption level, do you have the sufficient data to support that? The answer is no, we don't have the sufficient data on that. If you are talking about by the year 2027, funding of NIDA and SENI through development levy will be seized. If you are talking about by 2030, funding of TED bonds through development levy will be seized. Automatically, you are telling us indirectly that this organization or these institutions will be scrapped by this year.
The coalition is seeking the suspension of the tax reform bill until wider consultations are concluded.
And to other development matters, more women and marginalized groups in Bauchi State are set to benefit from the Village Savings and Loans Association, VSLA, as the state's microfinance agency enters into a partnership with an international organization to scale up its operations. A $50,000 grant will be invested in a system standardization process that is aimed at improving accessibility, inclusion, and the reduction of poverty, while addressing gaps in financial services for the rural poor. This partnership was formalized during the signing of a memorandum of understanding. Our correspondent Hajira Aliu now reports.
A Village Savings and Loans Association is a community-based savings and credit program designed to provide financial services to individuals, particularly those in rural areas where access to formal banking services is limited. To empower more communities and reduce poverty, the Bauchi State Government, through its Agency for Sustainable Microfinance, has signed an MOU with Care Nigeria for a $50,000 grant to standardize the Village Savings and Loans Association and enhance the agency's digitization efforts. The partnership will also improve data management, measurements, capacity building, and mapping for effective inclusion.
This partnership goes beyond project implementation. It is about institutionalizing a framework that embeds financial inclusion into Bauchi State's development agenda. It is also a commitment to creating a legacy of sustainable impact that will benefit generations to come, inshallah.
Giving more details about the benefits, the Director General of the Bauchi State Agency for Sustainable Microfinance says over 5,000 individuals have gained access to financial services, with 73 savings and loans group created since 2020, significantly reducing the barrier for 61% adult population who previously lacked access to basic financial services.
The demand for financial services in the rural communities still keep enlarging and continues to grow. So this is where basically we think digitalization of our microfinance operations becomes so crucial. The need to streamline our operations, improve transparency, and enhance our reach to remote areas and communities required a modern and digital approach.
The Bauchi State Government emphasizes that it is committed to the growth and development of the local economy.
This digitization, I believe, will allow us to provide faster services, better tracking of loans, and more robust financial literacy programs. We believe that with the right tools and support, our microfinance institution will be able to unlock the potentials of countless individuals and families within the state, thereby helping them achieve their dreams and contribute to our local economy.
These initiatives are expected to transform lives and remove barriers to financial inclusion across Bauchi State. Hajira Aliyu, Channels Television News.
Welcome back. The Gombe State government is allocating over 1 billion naira to infrastructure development in Billiri local government area of the state. Under the auspices of the Joint Project Development Agency, JPDA, a fleet of shops burnt down during the 2022 Billiri Mayship crisis, A police station razed by unknown gunmen during an attack on an Amtawalam farming community would be rebuilt, even as fences would also be constructed around the Billiri grains market. The residents described the move as a rebuilding and healing process for Billiri local government, which has had its fair share of challenges in recent times.
In March 2021, Danladi Sanusi Mayamba was announced by the Gombe state government as the new traditional ruler of Tangale in Billiri following the death of Abdul Masharu II in January 2021. The announcement erupted violence and protests that claimed lives and properties, including the Kantoma market, ravaged by fire in the aftermath of the succession struggle to the Billiri throne. It's been 4 years since the ugly incident, and the state government believes it is time for healing and rebuilding to create a path of recovery and economic well-being. While carrying out an on-the-spot inspection of Kantoma Market, Billiri Grains Market, Amtawalam Police Station and Senseni Link Bridge constructed by the Nuwa Yahya government, the Director General of the Joint Project Development Agency says Billiri local government is one of the biggest beneficiaries of the collaboration.
That perception, I think, is not for me to speak about it, because the project we have seen today will go close to ₦1 billion. So for anybody who has that impression that this government has not been fair to Billiri local government should go and check the records. There are local governments that are having one project, most of them one project. Even Gombe local government, which is the headquarters of Gombe State, they are having only one project. That's the reconstruction of the ED shopping complex market. But here in Billiri local government now, you have seen this project was completed since during the last rainy season. When His Excellency come to Sansani during our electioneering campaign, he saw the difficulty we encountered to cross this place. When he went there, he made a promise that even if I am returned elected or not as an individual, I promise you that I will reconstruct this bridge. And I'm happy to see that today this place is accessible. The people of Sansani now can go together, Uku, Billiri, Kumo, Gombe, freely.
For the chairperson of Billiri local government, these projects will revive economic activity and enhance security in the area.
As we went around with you, you see how my people were happy. They were jubilating because the market has become a real challenge in Billiri local government. And also in terms of revenue, we are not getting it easy to take our revenue from the marketers because this is an open place. But when coming with the building of the fencing of the market, it can generate more revenue to the people of Gombe State, to the people of Billiri local government. And also it will help our businessmen because when we went around, they were jubilating because they are selling the properties outside, which is not supposed to be so. So I'm very, very happy when you build this thing, it will increase the rate of marketing in Billiri local government.
Contractors are mobilized to the 3 project sites with immediate effect, a process the government is optimistic will revive businesses and boost agricultural output in Billiri local government area.
In line with the federal government's policy to transform livestock production and value chain addition, the Adamawa state government, in conjunction with the World Bank-supported Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES, has distributed livestock production inputs and machines to 23,000 livestock farmers across the state. Speaking at the ceremony in Yola, the state capital, Governor Umaru Fintiri says the gesture is meant to boost livestock production, improve the livelihood of pastoralists, and curtail conflicts between herders and farmers. Adamawa State is one of the leading producers of cattle and other livestock in the country, but production methods remain rudimentary, based mostly on traditional practices involving movement of animals in search of pasture. Governor Umaru Fintiri's administration has been perfecting plans to help farmers boost production through policies that aim to transform agricultural production using modern techniques. Livestock production is one of the priorities. The government formally launches the distribution of livestock inputs and machinery in Yola, the state capital, an assignment performed on behalf of the governor of Intiri by his chief of staff, Amos Edgar.
I'm especially delighted at the efforts of the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES initiative, which has achieved a lot since its commencement, including today's event. From constructing solar-powered and other types of boreholes, rehabilitation of abattoirs and slaughter slabs, construction of milk collection centers, establishment of artificial insemination and breed multiplication centers, and so on. LPRES has made and is making its mark on the livestock subsector in Adamawa State. Still, I urge you to do more.
One of the partners to this project is the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support, a World Bank-assisted program which seeks to improve the livestock value chain, support market linkages, and enhance productivity, among other values.
As the National Project Coordinator, I can confirm to you, sir, that Adamawa State is leading among the 20 participating states in overall implementation, drawdowns, and compliance with the World Bank guidelines. The standard of the jobs executed is adjudged excellent by our monitoring officers. These are independent verifications, which is not in any way attributed to me being the NPC of this project, rather a manifestation of the enormous cooperation and support enjoyed by the project in the state under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, the Executive Governor, whose passion for standard and compliance in infrastructure and livestock development activities are very visible in completed and ongoing activities across the state.
The state coordinator of the LPRES program, Sekondi Alfa, says the program will bring positive change to livestock production, while a representative of the beneficiaries expresses appreciation to the government for the gesture.
It's a deliberate effort to have a paradigm shift from the local way of productivity. Today, what His Excellency is looking at is turning the livestock industry revolutionary from the normal transhumance to sedentary way of production. And why are we doing that? We want to increase our productivity. By the time our pastoralists see reasons why their feed, which they go hitherto out to look for, and water is domiciled in their community, then they will have no reason to travel long distance. And the energy that is meant for productivity would have been there for the animals to use.
Our challenges generally are a lack of adequate area to graze our cattle, adequate water to water our cattle, and medical support to take care of the health of our animals. Now, this gesture is going to help in so many ways in solving most of our national, international, and local challenges with respect to animal herding.
The high point of the event is the distribution of the livestock inputs to representatives of the benefiting communities by the Chief of Staff, which comprises crushing and shopper machines, milking cans, mineral licks, dewormers, pastoral grass seedlings, and other equipment. The mechanic village proposed to be built by the Gombe state government may be delayed as an interlocutory injunction stopping further development on the land has been granted by the Gombe State High Court pending the determination of the matter. The suing firm, Emir General Integrated Limited, is alleging trespassing by the contracting firm Grand Scope Construction Limited into its landed property. And a presiding judge in the Gombe State High Court, Fatima Musa, has adjourned the case till February the 17th, 2025.
This is the proposed site for the Gombe Mechanic Village being developed by Grand Scope Construction Limited for the Gombe State government. However, Emir General Integrated Limited, who claims original ownership of the said property, is suing the construction firm for an alleged encroachment. Counsel to the plaintiff, Suleiman Abdurrahim, says his client is seeking legal redress over an arbitrary trespass by Grand Scope Construction Limited.
The matter is in respect of a trespass to land committed by the defender, that is Ground Scope Construction Limited. So the plaintiff, seeing that his property is being trespassed upon, so informed us, and then we took up the matter. We filed the case before this honorable court, and then the matter is now pending before the court, and like I said, it's sub judice.
While both counsels declined commenting on the substance of the case, as the matter is sub judice, they all agree on the interlocutory injunction granted by the court, stopping Granscop Construction Limited or its agents from carrying out further development on the land.
Between EMIA General Integrated Nigeria Limited and Granscop Construction Company Limited. So the matter come up today for mention. So, and we did the needful. So we are served with the processes. So we now took a date to respond to the processes filed by the plaintiff counsels.
The matter has been adjourned to the 17th day of February 2025 for hearing.
And that does it on this edition of the program. We'll be back again same time next week with more. I am Kola Koka. Bye for now.